thought in terms of the effort and the intensity and the urgency department, I thought we were really good tonight. Defensively, if you would have told me that we would have held Creighton to 65 points coming into the game, I would have thought that we would have had a great chance to be right there to win the game. We forced 17 turnovers. They shot 25% from three. Again, I thought our defense was really good. We took care of the ball, which has been something that we had not done here recently. We just didn't have enough shots go in, and we couldn't compete at the free throw line. We had 8 free throws, and Creighton had 22. So the difference in the game certainly was at the free throw line and our inability to shoot normally what we shoot in terms of field goal percentage. The other thing, obviously, that hurt was offensive rebounds by Creighton. I thought they did a great job, and got to give Will Artino a lot of credit for a terrific game. 5 huge offensive rebounds. One there late, I thought was key on an air ball, which those are tough to judge. But we needed to make a few more shots. Our defense was good. Our ball security was good. Needed to make a few more shots or get to the free throw line a little bit more.
Questions for Richard Carter and Seth Van Diest, please raise your hand, tell us your affiliation, and direct your question. On the right.
Seth, Mark Emmert from the Des Moines Register. Echenique in the second half seemed to find like a different gear. How tough was he to handle in the second half? How big of a factor was he in this game?
He was definitely a big factor. Has a huge body, does a great job. He uses his body around the basket. Got a few big offensive rebounds, and then finished well around the basket also. He really stepped up in the second half.
Other questions for our student athletes? In the back, please. On the right.
This for both of you. As far as where the game was, you were within a couple 31 minutes into the game. Was there, at that point, did you hit a wall? Was there any part of that quick turnaround from yesterday that happened at that point?
Richard, why don't you start first, please?
Not really. We just couldn't make shots. We tried to play good defense as we did, but the shot just wasn't falling for us tonight.
Yeah, we were within a couple there with a few minutes left. I mean, they made their run and we weren't able to respond. Basketball's a game of runs for the most part in the first half, and most of the second half we were responding with runs of our own. Couldn't respond to their last one and they ended up pulling away.
Any other questions for our student athletes? In the front again, on the right.
Richard, you had some really good energy at the beginning of the second half. I guess just talk about what you got going there and how much of a lift you gave your team today.
I just wanted to come out and play hard for my teammates, especially our seniors. They did a lot for it this year, so I was just trying to go to another gear for them.
Any other questions for Richard and Seth? If that's the case, gentlemen, your obligation here is completed. You are free to return to your locker room. Thank you so much. Congratulations on your year. Additional questions for Coach Phelps? Hands up. Again, front row on the right.
Mark, again, the same question I asked Seth about Echenique in the second half. I guess how much of a factor do you think he was in this game?
He was huge, Mark. He made a lot of big plays in the second half. He scored. We got mixed up a couple times on ball screen defense where he got at the rim. And then I thought he did a really good job defending Seth. He was a defensive force. He was an offensive rebounder. He scored. He was huge. You look at the numbers. He had 11 and 11, 6 blocks. He was really good tonight.
Any other questions for Coach? If that's the case, Coach, thank you so much for your time. Oh, we have one in the back. Sorry, didn't see you.
Coach Will Hall from ABC5 in Des Moines. Just wondering if you could talk a little bit about your future and the roster you have coming back for next year.
Well, obviously it's always bittersweet to say goodbye to seniors, and I don't know that anyone outside of our locker room really understands the contribution of Jordan, Ben, and Chris Hines. Jordan Clark, again, without going into great detail, has made some uncommon sacrifices in terms of his body for this basketball program. So we're so appreciative of Jordan. Ben had a terrific 4-year career. And then, with Chris Hines, for him to trust us for his 1 year, he had a lot of options. He had some Big Six conference schools that wanted him for his final year, and for him to trust us means a lot. And so those guys mean a tremendous amount to our basketball program. You heard Richard talk about that. Really excited about the 2 guys you saw up here. Both of those guys are going to be seniors next year. I feel like at the point guard position and certainly at the center position we'll be as good as anybody in our league. And we've got some other very good young players, Joey Clark, Daddy Ubede, Joey King, Daddy Ubede, Micah Mason, some guys that we're really excited about, and we're certainly excited about the guys that are coming in. So there's a lot of optimism about next year. We need to have a great off season. There's a lot of work to be done, spring, summer, and fall, but really excited about those guys. But today's about the seniors, and can't say enough, can't thank those guys enough for their contribution to our program and also to our university. At Drake, you don't just play basketball. It's not a separate thing. It's co-curricular, and those guys are heavily involved in the very fabric of Drake University. And you can go across campus outside of the athletics department and hear some unbelievable things about our 3 seniors, and that's what makes it even that much more special.
Any other closing questions? Again, Coach, thank you so much.
Thank you.